We've got the refreshed Mazda CX-5.
They tweaked it last year, they're tweaking it again. Let's go for a ride. Well, Andrea is in her happy place with the CX-5. Andrea, what's under the hood of this thing?
A 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with a 6-speed automatic transmission, 256 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque on premium fuel. You can put regular fuel in this CX-5 Turbo. You'll get less power, 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, standard all-wheel drive for 2022.
So we're driving the turbo, but the base engine is this without the turbocharger, 2.5-liter 4-cylinder and a 6-speed automatic, 187 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. Now, as we mentioned, this is a facelift for 2022, so you probably want to know, what are the key standard features?
The base trim in Canada comes with a 10.25-inch center display with Mazda Connect, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, push-button start, cloth upholstery, heated front seats, manual driver and passenger seats, keyless entry, 17-inch wheels, a spare tire, and blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert.
So for 2022, they've added an off-road driving mode, but what are we going to put it in?
You got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you hit the subscribe and hit the bell, but also follow along on Instagram. To get it behind the scenes, follow Andrea. It's Motormouth_Andrea. From me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below. This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit canadadrives.ca to learn more.
For 2022, you get a power bump on this turbo engine. Yes, only 6 horsepower more. You go from 250 to 256, but you got to put that premium fuel in. There's also some changes to the drive, the suspension, and this 6-speed automatic transmission is definitely more responsive. You've got some quicker shifts.
The suspension for me, I noticed right away.
Yeah.
Now, the best way to describe it is it feels firmer to me, but the initial damping over uneven roads is still pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's a quite taut European style suspension, and it's not going to be for everybody.
No.
I think the biggest category for suspension calibration is smooth and soft.
Yeah.
This is narrowed into people who like this.
For sure. I mean, this is my kind of drive. We drive a lot of German vehicles. We own German vehicles. And this Mazda makes me feel like I'm in something like that. It definitely mimics that sort of drive. There's a new MI Drive technology in this CX-5, and it has off-road and sport mode, and it just makes it easier to switch back and forth depending on the road conditions that you're dealing with. This is available starting on the Kuro trim in Canada and the Premier trim in the US.
So I think the updates for this were done because the basis of this vehicle is going to be used for the new CX-50,
Yeah.
which is going to be slightly more off-road capable. So they've just basically taken, I think, what are going to be the changes for that model and spread them out across the entire line. And one of the reasons why we grabbed this is because when we get a chance to drive the CX-50, we want to notice the differences. So off-road, they've taken from that and put in this, guarantee it.
For sure.
I think this is narrowed into somebody that likes a firmer steering feel. To me, I think it's maybe a little bit too heavy for some people.
For some people, for sure. I agree with you, Zach, which is why Audi is such a popular brand. It has very light steering. It kind of does everything really well with a softer suspension. That's not the case with this. I prefer heavier steering. This is my kind of feel, but I get it. It's not for everyone. If you want lighter steering, you know, something like the Buick Envision offers that comfortable, smooth drive.
So make sure you try it before you buy it.
I like the changes that Mazda's made to the exterior. It's got a bolder bumper. It kind of has wings that go right out to the headlights and they're really slim. The back gets a new tailgate as well. And this top signature trim that we're test driving, Zach, do you like how it's all the same body color now?
Yeah, so what would have been the traditional black plastic body cladding on the lower part of the vehicle and around the wheel arches is now color matched and painted. I think it looks really good. Now, we've talked about this in the past for the higher horsepower versions of their models with this turbocharged engine. There was no real way to differentiate what you were paying for. So now they've done that. You get a monochromatic paint on the outside. They still need to put badging on it though.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Wait a
have
sec,
this.
the sun is shining and it's so rare here in Vancouver, but there, okay, that's
We're
better.
Gonna close
There you
it.
go.
It's so nice. Beautiful day. Well, the signature trim is supposed to have signature on the tailgate. For some reason, our model doesn't have it. I'm not sure what's going on there.
You know what you do, Andrew? It's chip shortage. It's
That could
always the
be
chip
it.
shortage. You know what? We know what I haven't had a shortage of chips, I'll tell you that.
So there's a new trim for 2022, which I really like. It's the Sport Design trim. It has a nice dark grille and it has some accents that are red in that grille. It's got black exterior accents throughout and black alloy wheels. So if you're interested in that trim, it comes all the way into the inside as well with red accents.
Well, you mentioned the interior, Andrea. This is one of the highlights of this product, period, is when you especially get the higher trims that we're in here, it borders on premium car territory, and I think that's one of the biggest selling features of this product.
For sure, I agree. It's got some beautiful Napa leather on this top trim. I think that the best value trim for this year goes to the GS with the addition of the comfort package for $2,000. Comes out to about $36,000 Canadian. You get all those base model features, but you get a power tailgate and a moonroof, leatherette interior, and a heated steering wheel. In the US, I'd go with the Carbon Edition for under $31,000. You get many of those features that I mentioned, but you also get a leather interior.
A big thing for me is the way that this is set up on the inside. It has a control wheel in the center for using the large screen there, and I really like this. It's similar to BMW's iDrive or the old MMI system from Audi. I like the fact you don't have to touch the screen, it saves fingerprints, it's easy, there's a little volume knob there. It's very well laid out, and kudos to Mazda for not changing that.
I wish that there was a touchscreen in here. I have to be honest with you. I also like the center console dial, but do something like what BMW offers where you've got both. And I really think that you'll appeal to a broader range of people. They miss the touchscreen.
So here's me getting into the back seat. This isn't the biggest in this class. I would say it's adequate. You really need to try it if you're going to put car seats back there to make sure they fit.
If you want something bigger in the second row, go with the Tucson or the Forester or even the CR-V. They offer more second row legroom.
Okay, now carry-on in a cooler, no problem, of course, right, Andrea?
No problem for carry-on in a cooler, but it doesn't offer best in class behind the second row or overall cargo capacity. It's one of the smallest in this class.
I need some juice. Let's get the coffee going.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
We both seem to have an affinity for Mazda products. Have they improved the CX-5 for it to become a real contender for the sales lead in this class? Really like the interior and have always looked top notch to me.
No, not a chance in hell they're going to topple the RAV4. It is so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to Mazda. It's just that's a way bigger company.
This is how I look at it. Mazda offers this amazing drive. I think that it handles so well and it mimics some German brands, but it does offer a stiffer suspension and that heavier steering. If you look at something like the Rogue or the Forester with a very large and open cabin with big doors and windows, Mazda can't compete with that, but it offers something different with the drive.
Yeah, so back to the initial question, is it going to topple them? No, this is more, I would call this, you know what it's like? You go to a city on vacation, you stay at the Hilton. That's Toyota. Or you decide to go and find a nice little boutique hotel.
That's Mazda.
That's Mazda.
Yeah, so it's really
Good one, right, Drea?
Yeah.
I just
it's
pulled
really
that one
good.
out my backside.
I like it. So it's really about what you're looking for in this class. How is the cabin noise compared to the previous version CX-5? Mazda said they improved the cabin noise. What about the seats? Are they more comfortable than the previous version? You're right, they did say that they improved on those two things. I think that the cabin noise may be a tiny bit better, but I'm thinking it's the same.
You know what, it sounds the same to me because we drove here first thing in the morning,
yeah,
and on a cold startup, when the engine is usually loudest, I was actually thinking it's a bit noisy from the engine, not road noise, but engine noise. And I noticed no difference with the seats.
I notice a little bit with the seats. There's definitely more cushion. I can feel it, but they're still firm.
Yeah.
We've been going back and forth between the Tucson PHEV and this vehicle, and the Tucson definitely has more comfortable seats. We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar. First you type in Motormouth, the name of the channel, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Mazda, and then all of our videos, including comparisons, will pop up. It's that easy.
What a lovely design, but is the ride really as stiff as they say? It has the harshest ride among the compact SUVs I've heard.
I would agree with that. I would say if you're looking for the smoothest, quietest, and most refined, this isn't it. No. This is the one that is the closest to, say, like a BMW, for example. In fact, when we picked this up, I was driving, and within the first couple of 100 meters, I was like, they changed this, and you have to drive it where you live, on the roads that you drive on. If you live in, say, the northeast of the United States or in eastern Canada, a lot of potholes, try it before you buy it. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Do you feel like you're getting a luxury car experience, like what they're striving for, or it's about the same as the other competitors?
So internally, it's Mazda Premium. They've actually gone out of their way to build vehicles that compete with a class above them. Now, they're smart because at the bottom end of their trim levels, they compete with everybody else. But on the top end trims, like the one we're in here, it competes with premium vehicles. The big problem I had is before, you would get this top trim with nice luxury amenities, but when you looked at it, it just looked like all of their other products. You gotta know one thing. Toyota has Lexus. Nissan has Infiniti. Mazda doesn't have a premium brand. So they're trying to straddle both ends of the market with these top trims.
Yeah, I think that the fit and finish in here is definitely falling towards a premium or a luxury brand. Very little hard plastic is used. In fact, I see more being used in Audi and BMW these days. But where it really shines is in the way it drives. And that to me is a luxury experience. When it comes to the interior, this category, the non-luxury category, is fierce. And these other brands are stepping up their game. You see it with Hyundai and Kia. You see it with the Nissan Rogue now. They have these beautiful interiors, and they offer a touchscreen, a large touchscreen at that, and a panoramic sunroof. And that's something that Mazda has fallen a little bit behind in.
The other thing is power. Like this car with the turbocharged engine with 250 what now? 56 horsepower. Yeah. That's like having an X3.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, you're getting all of the same kind of amenities minus a few that Andrea's just mentioned for a lot less money. All right, let's get into sort of the base models. What else can you get in this category?
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Toyota RAV4. It has a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 203 horsepower, and an all-wheel drive starting price of just under $31,000.
Next is the Nissan Rogue with 2 engines, a base 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with 181 horsepower and an all-wheel drive starting price of just over $31,000. New for 2022 is a 1.5-liter turbo 3-cylinder engine with 201 horsepower. All Rogues come with a CVT. The starting price of the new engine for all-wheel drive is $35,500.
The Honda CR-V has a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder matched with a CVT, 190 horsepower, and an all-wheel drive starting price of $33,500.
Here's our used car alternative from CanadaDrives.ca. We chose a 2019 Subaru Forester with 63,240 kilometers for $35,490. To find more vehicles in this category, click on the tab or the link in the description below from canadadrives.ca.
So there are 4 compact crossovers for you to consider.
Let's get into the warranty, the fuel economy, towing, and more with our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. All trims come with standard all-wheel drive. The base model in Canada is just over $30,000 and in the US just under $26,000. And the top signature trim in Canada is just under $43,500 and in the US just over $38,500. J.D. Power hasn't rated the 2022 model yet, but the 2021 gets a quality and reliability score of 81 out of 100. CarEdge states the CX-5 will retain 55% of its value after 5 years.
Here's the fuel economy. The base 2.5-liter engine gets 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.9 on the highway. That's 24 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway. The turbo gets 10.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.7 on the highway. That's 22 miles per gallon city, 27 miles per gallon highway. The CX-5 can tow 2,000 pounds, and Mazda offers a warranty of 3 years with unlimited kilometers in Canada or 3 years and 36,000 miles in the US. Lightning round. Two things we like to see improved.
I love the power in this turbo engine.
And the handling really is top notch.
What I'd love to see in here is a touchscreen.
What I would like to see is them differentiate these top models even more with even more distinct styling.
This CX-5 gives me the sporty and entertaining drive that I love.
I like the changes. Can't wait to drive that CX-50s coming out in a couple of months.
This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit canadadrives.ca to learn more.